All right, so last class we started with some multiple choice, right? January 2017, right? And I would have asked you to number, even though we were only doing the multiple choice, the short answer part of the paper. I would have asked you to label January 2017 on a page and number 1 through 60, right? So now we're dealing with numbers 21 to 30. And what I recommend to students is just in the margin, you write the title of the poem. So the title of the poem is A Bad Day. So they put a bad day, and then the numbers 21. I mean, if it will fit on top, you could put it on top too, but 21, 22, 23, and so on, right? Because again, the questions repeat a ridiculous amount of times. So when you come across this poem again, you can come back to the answers to check your answers, right? 28, 29, will it fit boy? Yes, it will. All right. By hook or by crook. Okay, so this is a short poem. At least that's one good thing about it. And it's fairly simple, I think, for us to get the gist of it here. There are not too many difficult references. So let's look at it. A bad day. I cannot smile today, nor be pleasant today. Because this person is having what? A bad day, right? I do not like people today, and particularly hate children today. Today I am sad. Today I am mad at everybody and everything. I hurt today. I can't love today, nor see beauty today. I wish the wind away. No, I can't be happy today. What word do you keep hearing repeated? I looked down the future today. I looked down and began to die today. Right, yeah, today is repeated over and over. So what does that suggest to you? Is the person going to probably be sad or angry or feel bad all the time? No, it's just something about today is bad, right? Maybe they got some bad news, maybe something bad happened, we don't know, right? But just something about today. All right, so just oh boy. All right, the password for the English classroom is EAST, EAST. I feel like I say it every class, right? But that's okay. But I do say it every class, most classes, EAST, EAST, right? Is it fits in multiple choice questions? Well, it's 60 in total. The questions for this poem go from number 21 to number 30. Last week we did 1 to 20, right? All right, so let's go to the questions. Now, do y'all want some time to try it on your own? Or should we just read them together one by one and answer? All right, so first question. Which of the following is not true of the poet today? Which of the following is not true? Is it that she cannot smile? Is that not true? Is it that she cannot be sad today? Is that not true? Is it that she does not love children today? Is that not true? Is it that she cannot see beauty in anything? Is that not true? Good. So everybody is giving the right answer. Yes. So 21 is B. Right? All the other things are her reality today. All right, let's look at 22. Which of the following words best describes the poet's mood? We have jovial, we have anxious, we have reflective, we have melancholic. Now, if we don't know the meaning of a word, that is neither a reason to choose it or not to choose it, right? So if there's a word you don't know the meaning of, you could let me know and we'll discuss it. Oh, well, let's just go through. Okay, so jovial means happy, right? Cheerful, pleasant, all those things, right? Anxious is worried. Reflective is really thoughtful. You're thinking about things and why they are the way they are. And then melancholic is sad, right? But in a kind of deep sadness, more than just oh, I can't go see my friend like I was hoping to. Like a real deep sadness. Right? All right. Okay, so good. So 22D. Right. No other answers have come in. Good. Poets is very sad, a bad day today, and they list out all the bad feelings they're having. So melancholic. The word particularly in line 4 is nearest in meaning to. We have really, sincerely, especially, truthfully. So I'm going to mark up to line 4. I do not like people today and particularly hate children today. Particularly hate children today. I don't like people. And of that people, that subset of children, they're the worst today. So it's not really, it's not truthfully. So we're between sincerely and especially, right? Right, especially. I especially hate children today. So people are terrible, but today children are the worst. So 23C. All right, 24. Which of the following is an example of alliteration? What is alliteration? And if you don't know what it is, you can write it down, right? Repetition of consonant sounds at the beginnings of words that are close together, right? So Peter, Piper, picks a peck of pickled peppers, right? And P, this first P, not the middle P, P, right? So where is it? It can't be D. There's no consonant repeated. They have B, and then they have D, and then they have T. So right, C. Wish the wind away, right? All right, 24 is C. All right, I'm going to pause a moment for anybody who's writing down the definition of alliteration. All right, 25. The poet repeats the word today for we have balance, emphasis, consistency, enhancement. Thoughts? $25B. Emphasis. What do y'all think? Yeah, oh yes. Okay, that's our answer, right? B. So she just wants to repeat over and over that it's today, that's the problem. So she's emphasizing today. All right. I looked down the future today is an example of what? Simile, metaphor, on onomatopoeia, and apostrophe. So not apostrophe. About apostrophe, yeah. not this one. So let's do a process of elimination. Is there like or as in there? No. So not simile, right? Is there an onomatopoeia in there? Any words that make a sound? No. So then what is it? It is metaphor. All right, who could explain the metaphor? What is being compared to what? Anybody? What can you look down usually? What is something you could look down? You could look down a hole. You could look down a tunnel. You could look down a well, which is that hole you dig in the ground and you get water, right? All right, so the future is actually being compared to any of these things. We don't know which one. Something that is down, right? All right, a definition for an apostrophe as a literary device. It's when there's a speech or an address to a person or a thing who is not, well, a person, right? Or a thing that's personified, a personified thing that is not present. Right? So let's say it was raining and you wanted to beg the sun to come out and you had a whole speech to the sun about, oh my God, sun, we need you. Where are you, sun? That would be an apostrophe. Right? There are lots of them in literature where characters will pick up something and just talk to it. Yeah. All right, so 26 is B. And please use this method on a regular where you eliminate things to get to the answer, right? Especially when the answer is not obvious. All right. Ready to move on here? Okay, well, I have to scroll down. So after erase apostrophe, everybody has that note if they wanted it, right? Okay, the words nor see beauty in line 10 mean that the poet cannot. We have seen nature, see children, tolerate people, appreciate anything. Okay, I don't think we need to go back to the poem for that one. It's a general beauty. It's not the beauty of something in particular. So what does he mean? He can't do what? Right, he can't appreciate anything. Good. Okay, so 26 is, sorry, that's not 26, that's 27. 27D, 26 was metaphor, B. All right, 28. So we're going back 28, 29 today. The mood of the poem can best be described as peaceful, sarcastic, depressing, apprehensive. Which ones? Depressing, right. So we already said melancholic. And so now it is depressing. 28C. 29, the poet began to die probably because the weather was gloomy. She could not control her anger. Future events did not look promising. There were too many people around her. There's no mention of the weather, right? So it's not this one. She could not control her anger. Is she angry in the poem or is she sad? She could be both, but definitely she's also sad, right? So not that one. Future events did not look promising. There were too many people around her. The poem doesn't mention too many people. It just says she can't be nice to anybody, right? All right, so C. Yeah. All right, number 30. The poet's intention is to inform us of activities, express her hatred of people, show us her dislike of children, and tell us of her unhappy condition. Right, D. So what activity? She's not actually doing anything in the poem. She doesn't say she hates people in general, just today. Show us her dislike of children. Well, she can't smile at them particularly today. Tell us how unhappy she is. Yes. She's going through the details and the examples of what she can't do because she's unhappy, right? All right, so just check over your answers quickly, 1 minute, and then we're going to go to statistical reports. Okay, so let us put some numbers on these bars, right? So you would have written on the title as you, so please copy, right? For anybody who joined after I said that, right? Please copy the graph. All right, so that we're on the same page. 2006, the natural gas, we could call it 190. So it would have made 190 million. This looks like it's definitely middle, so 175, right? And what else is the same as this? 175. Right. Okay. What about the yellow, the steel for 2006? That looks like, what does that look like to us? Less than 150, maybe 140. 140. Everybody can see this. Is this big enough or not big enough? How much will the ammonia be? It's a little over 150. 151 maybe. Well, could it be 155? It could be 155, but then we come over here. All right, so we'd have to call the other light blue one 160, right? 155, and then this will be 160, right? All right. This one seems to be 200. This one seems to be 210. Yeah, 175, 160. Okay, over here, maybe 170. It's not quite half, so it wouldn't be 175. This two could be 160. Down here, this might be 100 and I don't know, 5 million. Down here, this is halfway through, so 75. For 2009, this is about, I think this is about 175. Maybe it's a little more. Well, maybe they could be 180, but since they look like the same, this and this. No, I had that as 190. All right, sorry, let me change this. I'm comparing it to the wrong thing. All right, so this is almost the same as 2006, 190. I'll put this as 190, right? So it looks the same. The methanol, make sure you'll copy down the key as well, right? A little over 100, maybe 110. The steel for 2009, about 50, 51, 52. I'm going to put 51. And the ammonia for 2009, 25. Does this come to CXC? That's an excellent question. It hasn't yet, but when CSEC changed when CXC changed the format of the exam a few years ago, it used to be different, right? Didn't have the second section. When that was added in a few years ago, teachers were told, when for reports, one possibility is a statistical report. So since they've changed the format a few years ago, they haven't brought a statistical report, but they went years without bringing a notice, and then they finally did bring one. So we still do it. We still do statistical reports, even though they haven't asked for one since with the new format, right? You still teach students are still expected to know, and they still could bring such a question. Okay. Everybody has this noted. You have the numbers written down. Anybody still writing? If you're still writing, you can let me know, right? Okay, so it looks like everybody is done. All right, well, let's get to the report. I'll leave the numbers up for as long as I can. All right, so the introduction. What does the introduction of a statistical report need to show? What does the intro have to have? Trying to find a note from last week, but I have a lot of colorful slides here and it's hard. But we said that the intro of the statistical report has to have the title of the graph, what kind of graph it is, and basically what you're going to do in the rest of the presentation, right? Right. So good. Typographic, what it shows, and what the report will cover. Good. Right. Okay, so let's do that. What's a sentence that says type of graphic and what it shows? Well, ideally, the title will say that for you. So every graph you get should have a title. This is our title. Right? So we will put in the title. Here's so I'm gonna put the intro over here for now. So you can write. You could also wait till I'm done with the intro and we read it over and we agree this is what we want, then write. Because sometimes I go back and I change things. And I know that could be frustrating for some people. All right. So the chart, or you could say bar graph, and I don't know why I have a capital C because it's just a general chart. Or you could say graphic, right? So the chart, I'm going to put this in quotation marks because it's a title, right? Caribbean Chemicals. No, it's just one chemical. Caribbean Chemical Limited for 2006 to 2009. I feel it should be Caribbean Chemicals. So let's just change it here and also change it up here. Right. Shows, what does it show? It says revenue earning of 4 products. All right, shows the revenue earned. Now, if you name the chart revenue earning of 4 products, you would not be wrong. It's just since this is our PowerPoint, I put a better title. I think is better. On the top, right? But if CSEC presented you with this page, then revenue earning would be, etc., would be the title, right? All right, so shows the revenue earned, or shows the, you can see back revenue earning. It just sounds awkward to me, of 4 products, right? So I'm gonna stop here. Now, it can be very disturbing to some people to have an introduction that's only 2 sentences long. Because we're used to being told, write 4 sentences in your paragraph, and then next come and say, oh no, well, 2 is fine once it does what it's supposed to. So let's help ourselves get more by breaking up the ideas. So we said what the chart shows, we said the title, what it shows. Now we could list out the products, right? So the products shown are natural gas. I feel like I want to use a different word than shown, so I'm going to go back and change that after. Methanol, steel, and ammonia. All right, so the products may be presented. All right. Natural gas, methanol, steel, and ammonia. And I want to go back here and change this to 4 instead of I'm going to put 4. The revenue earned for 4 products, right? They had revenue earning of 4 products. I guess that's okay, but I changed earning to earned, right? All right. Or even buy 4 products. Right. That would buy would also work, right? All right. So we've said what is in the graphic. Oh, wait, what else do I have to put in that I haven't put as yet? That the graphic is showing, that the chart is showing. I said the names of the products. I said the title. What else do I have to say that I haven't said yet? There are probably 2 things that I haven't said yet. Look and see if you could identify them. Well, okay, so how much is earned, but I can't really put how much is earned because that's too much information for an intro. The type of chart, all right, what I kind of said chart, the different years, right, good. And the fact that this is in millions. So whatever the y-axis is in, whatever the x-axis is in, right? All right, so numbers in millions, or amounts in millions, or earnings in millions. Right? Given for the years. For how many years? 4 years? 6, 7, 8, 9, right? For 4 years. And if you want to say consecutive, because you like to use fancy words, meaning coming right after one right after the other, you could do that. Right? And then we could also be fancy and put a colon. So colon introduces details that explain what you're talking about, right? And the details are what years they were. So 2006, comma, 2007, comma, 2008, and 2009. You could also, instead of listing all the years, say 2006 to 2009 and done, right? Instead of a comma, it's a comma, 2006 to 2009, because it's separate from the main sentence. All right, what is the other thing I have to put in the intro? We've said what the graphic shows in great detail. What's the next thing? So I feel like you could start writing if you haven't already, what is here. What else do I need to put into the intro? Some of you said it before. let's go back over what the graphic is, what it's showing, and also what the report is going to talk about, right? And it's always going to be the same sort of general thing for at least a statistical report at this stage. Now, if you had more time in the exam than the probably 40 minutes you're going to spend on the report, you could plan it out a little more carefully and put in a more detailed thesis, right? Like first I'll look at increases and then I'll look at decreases and then I'll compare them side by side. But we don't have time. We're not sure what we're going to find. So we just put, what we could just put is the following examines the major trends that the graph shows, right? That the bar graph shows. Or the major trends shown, or the major trends full stop, right? And this is our possible intro. What did I do that made this shift out of place? I can't tell. But I did something and the numbers moved around. All right, well, we'll figure it out after. Everybody can see the intro with no problem. Yes, okay, good, thanks. All right, so we're finishing up our version of the intro. All right, now I'm suggesting this method since if people tend to get confused when we see too many details about statistics and we don't know how to organize them. So let's plan to organize them where we look at overall trends first, the big things first, right? And then afterwards, we could look at comparisons amongst the products themselves. So do we see a big trend for all of them, that all of them sharing? What happens over the whole 5 years? 4 years, sorry. So this is like big trends, the whole period, all the products. What happens to them, guys? In 2006, they're at 1 point, and then what happens to them in 2007 versus what happens to them in 2009 versus what happened 8, sorry, then what happens to them in 2009. Now, if you had clearer numbers, you could have added up the sales for 06 and for 07 and 08 and 09, but it's not really a maths test, so, and that would take a long time, so probably not, right? We won't do that. Okay, so let's look. I had to get rid of the writing, but you all have a note of it, right? All right, so everything here is going up. No, this one goes down. So this one goes up, right? This goes up. This one goes up. Okay, this also goes up. All of that goes up. Here now they go down, 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 down. Some more than others. And then again they go up, 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 up. Right? So we get an increase in 07 and a decrease in 08 and an increase again in 2009 for everybody, right? That's fair to say. So what would you call that overall trend? You can't call it an increase. Can't really call it a decrease. When that happens, what do we call it? We call it a we say fluctuate, right? Right. So overall, for the period, revenue earned fluctuated, right? All right, so for the period 2006 to 2009, revenue earnings fluctuated, right? All products, so we have to actually check carefully, yeah, because sometimes one of the products might go down while everything else is increasing, but we wrote anything and we see everything followed the trend. So all products increased, all product revenues, it's not the products. In 2007, decreased in 2008 and increased again in 2009. All right, any increase in 2009, does everything go back to the original revenues? No, but does anything go back to the original amount for the revenue? The blue, the sort of dark blue in 2009, right, which is natural gas, right? All right, so you could say that in 2009, that only natural gas returned to what it was in 2006, right? If you want. But since we didn't talk about the other products, I am not going to do that because I'm worried it will make my thing sound disorganized, right? So we said, look at what we did. We made a claim. We claimed that it fluctuated. Well, I mean, it's a claim to the reader, but we read the graph, right? So we can see, and then we gave our evidence to support the claim. So how do we know it fluctuated? Because the numbers went up and then they went down and then they went up again, right? All right. That's the big trend. That's the whole period. That's all the products. Okay, what else could we say if we look at all the products? What product do you think did the best in earnings, and what product do you think did the worst in earnings? Would 2009 be the lowest? Not for all, not for natural gas. That's a good question. 2009 seems like the lowest for all except natural gas. So if you want to say that too, you could, right? So we could say, in fact, right? A nice little transitional phrase. Earnings were the lowest in 2009, except for natural gas, which I know I just said I didn't want to do that, but it's fine. It's okay. Which was the same as the 2006 value, right? So this way, at least since we phrase it this way, this is Anne-Marie's suggestion, right? If we phrase it this way, then we're not only talking about natural gas, we're talking about all of them, because we said earnings were lowest for all except natural gas, right? So this is a little better, not a little better, it's a lot better. And it doesn't have the problem that I was afraid we would have if we just said natural gas. Methanol, steel, and ammonium go down into, yes. Right, isn't that what we're saying? In fact, earnings were the lowest in 2009, right? For all products except natural gas, which was the same as the 2006 value. So that's correct, right? Anything anybody thinks is inaccurate or confusing there? The arrows were going up because I was tracking the pattern throughout the years, right? But we can take out these arrows now, by arrows. Right, so they went up from 2008, but they're still the lowest if you look across the scale, the graph, they're still the lowest. Okay, so we're looking at what each product does over the years, right? So you have to look at, so this is natural gas. It's gone up here. So in between this period, it goes up in 2007. Then it goes down in 2008, but then it goes up again in 2009. Right? So if it were a line graph, it would look like this. And these would be the points, right? So in 2008, it increased again from 2008, sorry, it increased to 2009. So they sold less over here and then they sold more over here. And when they sold more over here, they reached the same number value as they had sold in 2006, as they had when they sold in 2006, right? So it's the same value. Okay, so we have our first paragraph so far. We have 3 sentences. Let's try and see if we could fit in one more sentence at least before we take a break. Yes, it's only the natural gas figure that sort of rebounds in 2009, right? So that is what the point says. So earnings were the lowest in 2009, which is true if you look at these 3, methanol, steel, ammonia, they're low, right? For let's put in for all products except. Maybe that might make it a little clearer. For all products except for natural gas, which was the same as the 2006 value, right? If you feel like this is confusing, you could leave it out. Right? I just put it in because if you look at a graph and you look across, it's the same as in 2006, they had sold the same amount. I have all products except, everybody is seeing the except, right? So yes, I do have all products, but I also have the word except to say that it's all of them except this one, because it's 4. If it were just 2, I wouldn't say all products except, I would name them, but it's 4 of them in total. Maria, I'm not sure I'm seeing what you're saying. You're talking about up here? Increased again in 2009? Okay, this is a good question. Someone is asking if you, when you're writing a report, can you include the words x-axis and y-axis? I don't think CSEC expects you to do that, but that's just because they might see that as requiring you to have maths knowledge and it's an English exam, right? X and Y axis, I don't think are considered general knowledge. So I don't think they expect you to, but if you did it in a way that wasn't, if you did it in a way that fit, I guess it wouldn't be an issue. All right, so let me just explain this second sentence again, right? In this paragraph, and perhaps we'll take the break before we finish the paragraph, right? I know time is going on, I'm probably tired. All right, so we are summarizing the overall trends in the graph, right? And we said that they fluctuated. They did this. They had no pattern. They went up and down, up and down. They had no pattern, right? Now here, all product revenues increased in 2007. Can everybody see the increase? It goes up from what it was here, it goes up to here. From what it was here, it goes up to here. From what it was here, it goes up to here. What it was here, it goes up to here, right? Now, decreased in 2008. So it goes down, 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 down. Then we're looking at what happened in 2009. Do they decrease again? Do they stay the same? No. Oh, I see. I see your concern, Anne-Marie. Okay, guys, this is the problem. I drew the arrows, but I made a mistake when I drew the arrows. All right. So here, this one goes up, and this one goes down, and this one goes down, and then this one goes down. So I have to fix that. You all see it? All right. So I will have to fix it before the break. I'm sorry. All right. So decrease in 2009 and again in 2009, decreased in 2008 and again in 2009, except for the blue one, which is natural gas. Right? Which I know I could put the part which was the same as the 2006 value. All right, no, it's correct. So I really apologize to those of you who started writing. Because no, it has to change because what I had before was not correct. Right, so thank you, Anne-Marie, and thank you for being persistent. All right. Okay, it's 12:37. I think we need to take a break. So I'm gonna leave the screen up. If you want to take down what is here, we still should try and add, let me see how many sentences we have. 1, 2. So we should try and add at least 1 or 2 before we go to another body paragraph, right? So, let's take 5 minutes. And if you take your 5 minutes, you come back and you still need time to write, I will give you time to write, right? So 12:38, so 12:43, 12:44, we'll start back. Now, I don't think, I mean, if CSEC gives you a statistical report, they're not gonna give you so many different products to juggle. They'll probably just give you like 2. The last time they brought a statistical report, like a decades ago, it was literacy rates on men and women. So it is not as many things to take one. So you shouldn't be expected to do any major maths for a statistical report, right? All right, so overall, did we already use the word overall? No, right? So we can do it now. The best year for revenue was 2007, and the worst year was 2009. In total, over all 5 years, or 4 years, sorry. Approximate, well, $150 million. 150 million was earned in full stop, right? Right. Okay, good. So now this is our completed body paragraph. It has 4 sentences. We should feel proud of ourselves. So we look at things generally. Can we look now at the individual products? What was the best selling product? What was the worst selling product? Which 2 are in the middle? Okay, so tell me, what was the best selling product usually? And when is the exception? Right, usually it's natural gas, but there's 1 year when something else outstrips it. 2007, when methanol does better. overachiever. Right? So that's what we need to put on the in a sentence. All right, sorry, my thing was stuck there. Okay, so let's did y'all try your own sentence? Okay, so in terms of individual products, so we can start off to show that it's like a topic sentence again, right? We're showing that we're going to talk about individual products, right? So in terms of individual products, natural gas brought in the most revenue every year, except for 2007, when methanol sales or methanol earnings, do you all know this word outstripped? Meaning it went faster than. So outstripped it, right? Or earn more, if you want to just be direct. Yes, sorry, this is body paragraph 2, my bad. And the little phrases on top will be individual products. All right, comparisons and contrast. Compare and contrast. All right. Once we are done with that, we could think about what was the worst selling product. All right. The product that earned the least overall was ammonia. All right, let's just check it back and make sure we're not making any mistake. What is the exception? In 2007, it earns the least. 2008, yes. 2009, yes. In 2000, well, it earned the least overall, right? In 2006, what happens though? All right, so least overall means when you add it up, it's always the least. Right? Like if you total up the sales for each one for the 4 years, ammonia has the lowest number. So even though in 2006 is higher than the others than steel, right? I don't think this is a contradictory thing to say. Right? So the product that earned the least overall was ammonia, because you could see it's lower. 3 of the 4 years, significantly lower to make up for this difference. Right? All right. With the exception of 2006, when it earned more than steel, right? It always earned the least of the 4 products. How many sentences do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. All right. So perhaps we could try for one more sentence. We could say something about methanol and steel. So see if you could formulate your thoughts when what would you say is the general pattern for sales of methanol and steel compared to the other products in the other years? Okay, so we have left now both methanol and steel. So both methanol and steel right, tended to earn less than natural gas and more than ammonia, right? So that's a way of saying that they were in the middle. But you could, I guess you could say they were in the middle of the sales earnings, right? All right, sorry. The best year for both was 2007, right? Or the year that they earned the most was 2007, right? And the year that they earned the least was 2009. So I'll put that, while the year that they earned the least was 2009, right? Okay, and this is our end of body paragraph 2. All right, so take some time, finish noting what you need to, and then we will do the conclusion. And I'll go over with you what the homework is. All right, so now we're on to the conclusion. Right, repeat overall trends. Okay, so the graph, the bar chart, well, I know I call it something above, right? Caribbean chemicals. Limited for 2006, 2009. Right? I feel like I need to put in a as discussed up here. Right? So as discussed, shows revenues earned or brought in by the company for natural gas, methanol, steel, and ammonia. Yeah, you could say overall, but I feel like I used overall up above. But you basically just saying market thesis, right? Okay, we already used the word fluctuated. So for the period shown, sales of all products declined. Well, sometimes they rose and sometimes they fell, right? Okay, so right now I can't think, can you ask, what else would y'all want to put in the conclusion? I can't think of anything chattering to put other than that the sales fluctuated. Right, so revenues over the years did not stay the same, did not stay consistent. Right, that's just to vary the language, but that's really that they fluctuated. Okay, and I would leave it there. All right, now while, okay, irregular is a good word too. You could also say they were inconsistent. That's also a possibility, right? Just a second, I know this got smaller. All right, I just want to send a link to what the homework will be in the chat, right? And it is to try your own statistical report, right? Let's give ourselves 2 weeks to do it this week and next week, right? So this is you could see here what the graph is. It's very similar to what we did today and only 2 products this time, right? All right, so this is the link for the homework. So we'll post it online as well. Okay, so we spent our day, we did some of the multiple choice for January 2017, and we worked on a statistical report. We only have 1 more week to spend on statistical reports, and then I want to go to essay writing for the rest, probably for the rest of the term. All right? If somebody has another topic they want to cover before the term is done, before end of terms, you could let me know, right? And I'll try to incorporate it. But other than that, once you have no questions and you have everything you need, you're free to go, right? Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.